Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Lisha and today I'll be guiding you with 5 steps of how to improve your writing skills in French. Not just French, but I'll be guiding you with how to improve writing skills in general. It could be any language. It could be you writing a text in English, in French, in Italian, in Spanish, in German, in any language. As a teacher, I receive a lot of text for me to check it up. But I am not really that satisfied with what people write because they write for themselves. It's not about writing for yourself. It's about writing for the reader who's reading it. So when you write, it's not about even you writing grammatically correct. It should make some sense. Let me guide you with everything in detail in this video. Stay till the end and do not forget to subscribe my channel. Let's start with the first technique that I have for you. Practice. Now this is one of the first technique that I'm telling it to you because I've seen a lot of students saying that they're really good in writing, but once I check the things up, it's really a mess. So if you do not practice and you think that you're master and you write well, that's not really true. So you practice every day, you make errors, you improve, and that's the first thing that I want to say it out to you. Practically, what you can do to improve this or to have a regularity in terms of you writing down things is to have a journal. That was the thing that I had once I was weak in writing, is to have a journal. Why a journal basically, and what is a journal? So a journal, on every page you will see one or the other emotion. For example, I started my journal on a fact where write down things that made you happy today. So that was one of the things. I had a very bad day, but I had to write something really joyous, really happy. But towards the fact, I had no thoughts. So it will encourage you to have more thoughts, to have an open mind towards you thinking of all the things that you didn't even have that day. So every day you'll have a new topic, every day you'll have a new emotion and new things to think about. And also one of the things that I've seen with people is that they make really long phrases. Take this as a page which is very simple. Do not complicate this up because I have seen people writing big long paragraphs and that was just one sentence with good punctuation marks and everything. That is really frustrating to read because you are reading something where in the middle of a sentence you are going ahead with the second part of the sentence but you forget the first part, and that is really complicated and a really complex sentence. I won't even say complex structure, but a long sentence. Try making short sentences, crisp sentences, and something really interesting to read. Now the second technique or the tip that I have for you is to read as much as you can. Now you might be wondering, why is she talking about reading once we are talking about writing? Towards the fact where you need to read in order to understand what people are writing, in order to understand how they are using punctuation marks, also in order to understand what all expressions they are using, the vocabulary base that they are using. Instead of you writing your own thing altogether, try focusing on what people are writing. So if you read more, you'll express more. You'll read more, you'll write better. Towards the end, the goal is not to write a grammatically correct paragraph. The goal is to write attractive, grammatically correct paragraph. It shouldn't be a context where people are just reading just for the sake of reading. People are reading because they are engaging with you, because you're interacting with them. And here I bring you the third technique that you need to keep in mind is to have a mind map. Now what is a mind map? I have seen people writing random phrases at a random point of time. For example, I talked about a journal, let's say. You're writing about the fact what happened at night. And then you're writing about one thing that happened in the morning, and then one thing in the afternoon, and then in the evening. Is that even structured well? No. So that's one of the things that you do not need to have in your writing. So you have to start with a blueprint, I can call it, in terms of if you're going ahead with an exam, you write a blueprint. Or you can create a mind map. What is a mind map? Is that you brainstorm the ideas, you brainstorm the vocabulary. For example, I'm talking about a vacation. What all could be a part of vacation? Sunglasses, me carrying an umbrella, me carrying some good shorts or maybe some good top, me carrying earrings. So all of the things is a part of the vocabulary. Maybe me, having some time with friends and me cooking something for the picnic, let's say, is the picnic. So it could be you finding out the vocabulary, you linking everything up and then writing it up. It's not about writing random things at random point of time. It might be the fact that in the middle of the paragraph you come up with a phrase and you're like, it was better if I could have written first. It's not good if I'm writing it here. Do not end up in a situation where you forget vocabulary, because that is the most important part if you're writing a good, thing altogether. Obviously you would have internet and you can use that, but in terms of if you're going for an exam, you need to have some of the other verbs or the words that you need in order to complete your paragraph altogether. So in this context, you make a vocabulary chart, you study it before going for the examination, and you're able to create that link that you need to create for it. Now, the fourth tip that I have is for people who really focus on grammar this much. I am not saying that you do not need to focus on grammar, but focus on the practicality of a grammar topic. Now, what do I mean by practicality of a grammar topic? In terms of if you're solving out exercises of a particular grammar topic, let's say passé composé or maybe imparfait. If you're solving out those exercises, you're understanding the formation of passé composé, you're understanding the formation of imparfait, but you're not understanding the practicality of passé composé versus imparfait. There might be a lot of instances once you write, you'll be like, do we use passé composé in here or do we use imparfait? Once you're understanding the practical implementation of a grammar topic, you should also be able to understand where do we actually use this. Because if you do not know where do we use le conditionnel, you cannot write a phrase with le conditionnel, or you'll never be able to write it in paragraph. You'll never be able to practically use that in your exams. So that is something which is nul on dit en français. For example, we use le conditionnel in terms of me writing to somebody very politely. I would say le conditionnel. So I would use this in a formal context. In this case, you also understand different types of, text. For example, you are writing an informal letter, you are writing a formal mail. There's a huge difference between both of them. If I'm writing an informal letter, I'm writing everything in the tu form. If I'm writing a formal mail, I'm writing with le conditionnel, maybe le subjonctif, and I'm always, referring that person with the vous form. So get onto the fact of understanding the practical aspect rather than the theoretical one where you're just solving out the exercises. The fifth and the very important technique that I have for you is to subscribe my channel, because you'll get n number of videos that might be useful for you in future. Jokes apart, the fifth technique that I have for you is to stop literal translating everything up. Everything that you think in English might not be the same thing in French. For example, if I have to say a red car, I won't say une rouge voiture. I won't say like that. I would say une voiture rouge. So there's a different context altogether. I would not say a red car, I would say a car red in French. So there's a huge difference between literal translating and to understand the expressions right in French and use them right in French. There are a lot of ways to improve the textual content that you're writing. For example, start focusing on connectors. Start focusing on the idioms and the expressions that we have in French, rather than you thinking in English and then writing in French. A bonus technique. Once you are done writing everything up, do not forget to proofread. Now, what is the importance of you proofreading? People are into the zone that, no, I have not made errors, I've written it very carefully and everything. That's the same thing I did in my exam as well. I wrote everything, I was like, no, I won't have any errors and stuff like that. And the moment I had some time, I had 10-15 minutes, I was like, let me just read it once if I have any errors, just in case. I read it up and then I found a lot of errors in the text that I've written. So every single time, once you're done, writing everything, proofread. Just, correct them up, the errors that you have made. Read it again just in case you do not have more errors that you might have skipped the second time. I hope you liked my video, and just in case you found that fruitful, just do not forget to subscribe my channel, like the video and share it with your friends. I'll see you in another video of mine. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.